Good morning. Another day, another vlog, huh? I hope you understand that the amount of vlogs that I do depend on the amount that I read. And at the moment I'm in this huge reading mood. And also I need to be because there are a lot of books that need to go back to the library very soon. So I do not want to have to wait for them again. And one of those books is The Immortalists by Chloe Benjamin. So bloody excited to read this book, I can't even tell you. So essentially this book with this gorgeous cover, I mean it's a seasonal tree, so I'm wondering what that means. Anyway, this is a book about 4 siblings who go to a psychic and learn the day that they're going to die. So it's a story about how you live with that knowledge. Very cool premise for a story, I thought. So the siblings are Simon, who goes to San Francisco for love. There's Clara, who becomes a Las Vegas magician. Too cool. There's Daniel, who tries to control his fate and becomes an army doctor after 9/11. Too sad. And our bookworm Vaya tries to control it with science. So there's 4 different approaches from the 4 brothers and sisters. I do want to get this finished in a couple of days, and it's doable. The kids are at school. My husband's going away for work. He's a huge bloody distraction to my reading. He's always talking to me. How dare he want to interact? Okay, it's super early. We're talking 3:30 in the morning. I haven't had nearly enough sleep, so I will flop later today, later this morning. But I just was tossing and turning and thought I may as well get up and read. Happens to all of us, huh? I'll see you on the other side. Well, that was sad. Hang on a second. Okay, so I guess you can tell from my reaction there that things got a bit intense. But don't let that be a spoiler. I cry at a lot of things. I learned very early on in this book that this isn't a literary book. Like, I'm not going to find beauty in prose or beautiful passages. This is going to be a good story, but the difference between this good story and others, which are kind of average books, is about the thought-provoking nature of it. It is bringing up a lot of things for me to think about, and I'm really appreciating that. Of course, it's all about what would you do if you knew the date you were going to die, and it's interesting to see the 4. Yes, there's a little one. Hang on. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're up very early, puppy. Anyway. Okay, what was I talking about? Yeah, right. So it's interesting to see with the 4 different siblings. Obviously, there's some that the psychic has predicted that they will die young, and some that will die when they're very old. And it's interesting to see that the ones that have the date of death as when they're young are quite reckless in their choices and just go out and grab the dream, whereas the ones that are going to die older seem to be setting themselves up in college and, you know, setting up their life. And it's made me think about what I would do, whether you would still conform to the way, you know, you finish school, you go to college, you do all of the things, even if you knew you weren't going to die until your 80s, or would you recklessly live knowing that you still had another 60 years to live? I don't know. It's kind of a challenging thing. There was another part where right at the start where the psychic said to one of the girls that her future is in her, and don't worry, everything's going to be okay. Bye. I think a lot about that with having my kids, about what their destiny will be, how they will end up, and am I going to ruin them, and you know, is it already written in the stars and all that sort of thing. So that was an interesting, challenging thought for me about whether we are all destined to live the lives that we're living, or whether we can make those changes and it's not all, the plan's not all set out. I don't know. So it's a good story with a lot of things that I'm thinking about, and I'm sure that's going to continue on. Like I said, it's not beautiful with its words, and there are some moments where I kind of cringe, especially the opening. The opening paragraph was a description of a 14-year-old girl's body, which really shocked me. There was also this really cheesy part where this man revealed he was gay. Or this man revealed he didn't want others to know he was gay or something like that. And as he said it, he was walking out of a closet. And I was like, really? That was kind of cheesy. But I've really made a vow to suspend all that stuff, to suspend all of my need for beauty in words, and really immerse myself in this story because it is really thought-provoking. So the first part that I read was about Simon, the youngest sibling. And it was a good story. It was intense, but great. Really, really loving this book. It's easy to read, it's challenging, it's exciting, it's suspenseful, it's intriguing, it's all of it.
The most famous lawyer in the world, one of the most famous lawyers, Cicero, and an absolute firebrand proponent of the death penalty.
Look, there was a fluffy jumper in the wash. That annoys the hell out of me. The pain of being a housewife, huh? Right, all the mum jobs are kind of done. There's no more food in the kitchen and the washing is out of the washing machine for now. I've hit a wall. So I'm decided that I'm going to take a nap earlier today. I shouldn't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It just shouldn't happen. So I'm going to cuddle up with this and see how much I can get read before I fall asleep. So I'm up to Clara's point of view. So I will read through to the end of that and then let you know my thoughts afterwards. Maybe I'll be showered then. Maybe not. Hi. I haven't checked in with you guys all day. What have I done? I have cleaned. I have recorded booktube videos. I have sorted out grocery lists and meal plans and done all that stuff. I've gone into school and fixed up the library at the school. We had sushi train. And then, we've just been at home doing this stuff. So I'm finally sitting down after all of the things. We've got one baby in bed and this one's sitting up and going to read with me. So it's time for me to get stuck back into the Immortalists and try and get the next part read before I fall asleep, which is going to be really hard because I'm really tired. Okay. Good morning. My husband isn't home, so I can lie in bed under the coziness of my blankets and read early in the morning when I wake up. It's a little treat. I don't like him being away, but it is a bit of a treat that I don't have to get out of bed and go into a cold reading room to read. I need to get some reading in before the little ones wake up. It's 6 o'clock now. A little person just woke up. I let Pay anxiety and just read like a huge part of the book, a big reveal. But instead of being able to read on, I'm now going to read Captain Underpants. But that's okay, I get snuggles with that. Anyway, I can't wait to get back to my book. More powerful than boxer shorts, tra-la-la, and able to leap tall buildings without getting a wedgie. Right, Captain Underpants is done. They're out of the bed. I can get back to this book and what's going to happen. But they are just outside my door, about to play a game that causes arguments and cries of "it's unfair" every single time. So, oh, it's already started. So let's see how good I am at blocking it out. Nope. Oh, right, I just filmed this whole reaction because I was so incredibly moved and I hadn't hit the button properly. I just finished the second siblings part in the book. That was Clara. And holy crap, it was so intense and so incredibly sad. So Clara's a magician and it's about her getting to build up her show. She meets her husband and has a baby, and as a man he takes control of her talent and tries to peddle it for more money without even thinking about creative satisfaction, but that's a whole nother rant. With the first brother, Simon, he kind of approached the fact that he was told the day he was going to die by just being reckless, by just absolutely racing out and pursuing every dream that he had and just grabbing hold of it and running. With Clara, it's a really interesting twist. She is a magician, so she suspends reality. She believes in out of this world stuff, and she starts doing what she believes is communicating with the other side, and believes that when you die, you can still communicate and you can still be in contact with the people that you love who are living. And so she kind of surrenders to this idea that death doesn't mean that you go away forever. It's really a really brilliant addition to the story. My children aren't getting on at the moment. They're constantly arguing and then they come to me. Come in here, mate. Okay, just come here and let's have a cuddle. Let's just have a cuddle and just take a breath. Okay? We'll sort all of this out. I'm going to sort out the crisis and then get back to reading, I suppose. Will you let me read for a little bit longer this morning? No. Is my reading finished for the morning? That makes me sad.
I just thought I'd show you where I'm at. I'm out of bed and sorting out my meal plan for the week before I go into town so I can get some groceries. So we actually have food in our house. It's kind of important. This looks nice, doesn't it? Yeah, totally making that.
Oh, hi. It's much later in the day now. It might even be lunchtime nearly. I dropped the boys to school. I went grocery shopping. I'm just posting my May TBR, which is just nutsos. And now I have to put the groceries away, I guess. And then I'm going to read. Oh, I should do dinner. I don't want to adult. I just want to sit and read. I am so into that book and it's all I can think about. So, yeah. I've just got to finish doing what I can do so I can really focus on it and might get a couple of hours in before I have to get the boys. Fingers crossed. Talk to you when I'm reading. Hi, I finally made it to my reading chair. Today's been a write-off day. I don't really know how I didn't achieve any reading today. I got a little bit read this afternoon at Paddy's golf lesson, but anyway, I just got off the phone to my son. It's his birthday today. He turned 20. So I just finished talking to him and now I'm going to bunker down and read the book. I was going to climb in the bed and do it, but I know that I'll fall asleep straight away and I want to get the third part read tonight. Let's see how many pages I've got to go to achieve that. 80 pages? 70 pages? I can totally do that. Right, I'll get this read and I'll chat to you after. I'm not gonna make it. I've read about 70 pages, but my eyes keep closing and it's time for me to hit the sack and try again tomorrow. So I'm about 130 pages from finishing, so I'll get it done tomorrow. I nearly got there. It's still really good. Still amazing, actually. Good night, and we'll start again tomorrow. Let's hope tomorrow is a far more productive day. I would like that. Okay, good night, everyone. Good morning. I slept in at 5:30. The thing that I love about being on the other side of the world, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, is I wake up to buddies on Boxer having left messages. So there's a couple there, but I am resisting opening them up because I need to get stuck into this book. I would love to finish this book today. It's so doable. So I'm going to sit with I've run out of tea, so I'm having a lemon water and read my book. Good morning. I also think it's quite funny that I go to bed from the same spot and I wake up and move to the same spot every morning. I like that I have a little reading chair in my reading room. But as you're filming it, you can become more aware of where you move in the house, and this is definitely the most used chair in the house. Okay, I'm going to read. What? I just finished Daniel's part. The third sibling. Oh my god. Hang on a second. I have to think. It's really hard for me to talk about this without giving spoilers, so I'm gonna try. Because there's no way that I could spoil this for you. This is it's such a great read. Anyway. It's very clever. So each section is for each of the 4 children, and it leads up to the day that they were told they were going to die. And it's very interesting how the writing, I don't know if the writing changes or my reading changes, like with anticipation about what's going to happen, because yeah, that's the day they're supposed to die. So you're kind of reading, you know what, I think the writing changes because the characters become, well, some of the characters become quite frenzied on that day when they think that they know it's coming and they're in control, yet when the day comes they get quite frenzied, and I think that writing reflects that, which is very clever, how that change happens. So this section was for Daniel. Daniel's a military doctor who leads a very measured life with his wife. At the start of his section, something goes down in his life that kind of rocks the boat a bit, and then we're led through. I can't say that either. Wait.
You can't even imagine how many times I've had to re-record this because I've given away things unintentionally. It's really hard to talk about this without spoiling it. Anyway, Daniel's approach to the date that he was given and all of that is that he believes that you can sometimes talk yourself into things. So he talked a lot about the placebo effect in his medical work and the trials that he's seen where you give people something that tells them it's going to make them go to sleep and they go to sleep. So his thought process was, I could believe in this and then that will make it come true, or I can be in control. And he very much thinks that he's in control and tries to control the situation. But stuff goes down. So next up is Vaya. And Vaya she's the eldest sibling, and she was the one that was told she was going to live into her 80s. She's the only one, and I think she's the only one that we actually know when she was going to die, that she declared it at the start. All the others kept it to themselves. Got 90 pages to go. I'm going to try and get through that, but my children are going to wake up soon, I know it. They're awake. I got 2 pages into Vaya's bit. These gorgeous colours in the sky, let me show you. It's so pretty, look at the sunrise. Isn't it gorgeous? Yeah. So pretty. That colour only just came. It was grey before that. So gorgeous. I got some cough clubs. So there's just a few key things I have to do before I can get back to reading. One is put the porridge on, so I'm going to do that one now. Right, porridge is on. Now I've got to put the washing on. I've got to check my meal plan and make sure that I've got dinner sorted. Today is Thursday. Oh, I've got to put that in the slow cooker for lunch. Okay. Well, that took longer than expected. I have to clean this kitchen because I just made a mess. Okay. Right, cleaning kitchen time. I spend my time thinking about being kind to future Natalie. So if I did this now, future Natalie would just really be happy with me. Right now, I'm future Natalie, and the lunch boxes, I forgot to empty them out last night. So now I have to empty out gross lunch boxes, clean them, dry them, and repack them all in one go. And I'm really angry with past Natalie. She was not kind to me. Okay, so lunch boxes. It just keeps rolling. Right, lunches are done, and while I was doing the lunches, my washing finished. So I'm just going to go and hang it out and put another load of washing on. We're at 7:15 now. The gap is closing very fast for when I can read some more before we go to school. Okay, washing time. Right, washing's done, and I can't think of anything else that I have to do. I might sit down, have some breakfast, and read while I'm doing that, and then get dressed at 7:30, so I've got an hour to go before we go to school. I've done well. Everything's organised, I think. Wait until I walk through those doors. But I think that's what I'm going to do. Have some avo on toast and a little read. Okay. Hi. I didn't get any more reading done. Over my breakfast I talked to children, so that's okay. And so I've just dropped them to school, and I was going to spend some time at school, but it didn't work out that way. So now I'm at a loss, and I don't want to go home and get distracted by more washing and crap.
So I'm going to go to a cafe now and finish the Immortalists, and I'm not going to leave till it's finished. That's what I'm going to do, unless I just go to the library. Oh, actually, I've just thought of something. Up here is a secondhand bookshop I've not been to. It's a book exchange. I'm totally going there. Okay, let's just go to this bookshop really quickly. Oh no. Bugger. Look at these gorgeous sunflowers. Well, that's devastating. Okay, well, maybe I'll just go to the library and finish this book off. I'll see you at the library. That library car park is taking your life into your own hands, let me tell you. Okay, I'm here. I'm going to find a cosy spot and finish my book. A lovely morning. Nobody else here. I found myself a little corner. I can't look at anything. I can just focus on this. Okay, let's get it done. The next part of this book with Vaya, she's a scientist, and science makes my brain hurt. Even just talking about genes, and it's not in depth at all. But it's really annoying me. I just want to know what happens. And I have to read through her research with monkeys. It is very clever though, because she's a scientist that studies how to stop aging. She calls it longevity, and why people live longer than others do. And that really ties in well with the theme, but the science talk's driving me nuts. I've got 60 pages to go. Just finding a quiet spot to chat to you, because I can't chat to you in the library. I guess I can chat here. I'll take my glasses off. I finished it. It's great. The ending kind of wrapped up differently to how I expected. So Vaya was the scientist like we talked about. So she was trying to control everything, and then she ended up with OCD and that feeling of being out of control and trying to organise her space. That was her response to the gypsy, to knowing her death date. I guess the takeaway that I've got from this is no regrets, right? So always living how you want to live, always living how you want to live. Not worrying, and always having real relationships, because you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. It's a really thought-provoking book. There's no beauty in prose or beauty in writing. It's a great story, like we talked about at the start, and I surrendered to that, and I loved it. I loved how it made me think. Yeah, this is a 4-star book for me. It's great. So that's it. I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye.